SvelteKit project Rubik. On the first column here, I didn't do the analytics as I had agreed beforehand to do a chat and a group chat instead of it. So I've done the basic, the good, the excellent, and the outstanding. I've done the multi-chat with in the form of a review system. So as you put the review in, it adds the review to the actual dealer, and if another review comes in, it updates in real time. The single one-to-one chat is more advanced because it's between one user and the dealer, but I also display the notifications on how many new messages are per chat, and also on the chat landing page I have a list of all the individual chats the user is involved in and how many new messages are in each one. When the user visits that chat and actually goes to the actual the chat window, it automatically removes the new chat's notifications for that chat. So if there was a total of 12 notifications of new chats and you went into a chat that had 4, it'd be 12 minus the 4, and then you'd have whatever's left, and that's all done automatically. So it just keeps everything in real time on how many messages to have, how many are unread. Then for the POI, I've all the POIs in the map. I've the map layers using the county and also the car brand together. There's two maps, where the main map, when you click on the dealer, it passes the details onto a second map which displays the weather icon as the map marker, and also a test drive button, or if the user logged out, it displays a button that puts them to the login or the registration page. Then there's also a landing page map where it has the 5-day forecast for the user to choose to see what day they want to do a test drive on. For the images, I have a car type that has a single image. This is my image in the POI. The car type image is deleted when the car type is removed. The car type main image with multiple images for car type interior, extended multiple images. So basically, I have the main image, which is the single image. I have the interior images, which is multiple images, which is basically going to be my gallery. And the image gallery is of the interior images, and it's displayed in a slider with dot and arrow navigation, and also the option to click on a full screen to view it in a bigger viewer. The authentication baseline good is essentially done with third party authentication. 3, I've used the Google login and also email and password, which is also through the Firebase authentication. So that's basically covered all of those boxes. For the architecture, well, it's a Svelte project, so Svelte's done. SvelteKit is used because I've used the server files, SSR and CSR rendering, full stack, so the Happy APIs move completely. All interaction with the Firestore databases handled the SvelteKit project, and the project is also deployed on Vercel. So I'm claiming outstanding on all columns on my Rubik. Of the site for the sign up with Google. So as we can see here in my authentication, here's all the emails. I'm going to use robert.ferguson@digitalstrategy.e because it's a Google email. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to go to sign up. I'm going to log in with Google. It's going to ask me what account I want to use. I'm going to use this one here. It's signed me in as a user, not a dealer. And you'll see here, if I go in, I do a refresh. Here's a Robert.Ferguson strategy, which is the one I did. Here's my code. I'm going to look for a user with that ID, which is this one here. I see that I'm not a brand, I'm just an active client user, which is the front end user name, and there's the user ID, and the user ID is from the authentication store. If we look here and I log out and log in, so if I use a different account, for example, if I log in with, I can log in with this user as well. Sorry, I'll log in with this one here, but this is a brand user. And you see here the brand user has a different interface. Since we're with this user, which is a brand user, we're going to do the messages. So if we look here at the messages, I only have one. If I go into my messages, you see here, this is all the messages I have with the different users. And as you'll see, I've got one notification here as an unread, which is the one here. If I click on this one, it will clear the message here, and also clear, if I go back to messages, clears it here as well. So it updates everything in real time. Just to prove the point, I've logged in as a different user, and what I'll do is I'll go to the chat here, and I'll, as you can see, I've done a lot of testing. I'll just add in hi there, hit enter. So that's one more message. See if one's popped up here, and it's done it in real time, and it's this Mayo chat here. So if I click in here and I go, yes, I am here. If I click on that, I go to the other page. You see that it's yes, I'm here, and it's using the user that I'm contacting the dealer from. So that's my messages with the notifications also in real time. If you also go into the profile, the car dealers, if I go to Finton's Autos, you see here there's a review system. So if I went into that review system on the car dealers here, you'll see if I add in new review, this should add it in real time. So adds it in here, but also it added in on the other one as well. So multiple users can go in and add in reviews, which will appear here. Also, this is a good time to highlight that I'm using the weather API to do the 5-day forecast for the test drive, so they can obviously book a test drive, which obviously puts them into a chat. If I click on this, opens up a chat with the user. And also, if we go to the home page, if I click on one here, it brings up the animated icon as the actual map marker. And if I also pick on the vehicle here, it opens up my gallery where I have the dot navigation, I have topic, and even hit the full screen if I so wish to, and close it back down. I'll quickly just show the brand dashboard. So if the counties here, so see here, here's all my counties. If I try add in a county that's already here, which for example Mayo, which is the first one, which is already there, I'll get the county already exists, so I can't edit it. Sorry, add it. If I go in and I try a different one, let's say Fermanagh, this one here, that'll successfully add it. Obviously it'll do it, and it'll add it in here. There's my Fermanagh here. I can go to my edit and I can click a map marker here, puts in the location, and then obviously you can put in the details for the dealer for that location also. If I go back to my dashboard with manage car types, here's all my car types here. I can edit the car types in situ, so I can actually go in here and give it a different name, and then just go save. Same as the image, I can replace the images, multiple images as well, hit save, and that will then update that in real time and gives you back to my, and obviously you can add more, and I can remove and delete if I so choose to. Just to quickly point out, if we go back to the homepage map, I also have the groups. So for example, if I wanted just to Citroen and Audi, and I can take away the counties also, or I can just look at, let's say, everything that's in Kerry, Mayo, Donegal, Cavan. So there's multiple choices on the groups depending on what I want to view. Chat list. So basically, initialize the empty array chats writable store chats. Let chat which bind. Describe the auth store. So basically, if user logged in, get their chats. So if you that's grand, get chats from the database chats Firestore, and let chats chat. Yes, looping through it. Notifications, yes, I'm getting the unread notifications chat using the user ID, the chat ID, and then the notifications is chat unread. Yeah, so basically it's getting the number of the unread chats for that chat. Yeah, and then I'm sorting the chats by the timestamp. When the component mounts, yeah, so basically when it mounts, I want to subscribe to the chat store. As seen here, function selected chat. So basically, select chat is the so update the chat ID and dealer user ID in the chat ID store. So this is where I'm keeping a track, and then what I'm doing is I'm getting the mark notifications as read. So once they go to the actual chat and the chat ID, the chat itself, I'm basically taking any notification, any messages that user had as were new, and I'm wiping them down because obviously they've gone and they've read them now. So if there was 4 messages that were unread, then they've obviously been read now. Then obviously there's a function to format the time because it's a Firebase timestamp. I want to put it into something that's readable. So you can see here I'm using the form data, which is basically this function here to output it. Get dealer name chat. So basically what I'm doing here is uh, I'm I'm working out the dealer's name by the user ID. So yeah, so if it's the user ID that's sending it, then obviously uh, I'm doing reverse to get the name of the other person, and then I'm just looping through my chat here. I'm given the just the format of text as in who's the chat with, the timestamp, how many messages are unread if there's any, and then obviously the link to the actual button. Yeah, chat window code. To get so active chat. So the active chat is from when you click the button on the main map to do to book a test drive. It's basically an active chat that sends a user from the map straight to this single chat here and not to the message route where you select the chats. So let user or subscribe. Yes, that's fine. User value. Setting up some the variables here. Then if there's an active chat and it has the user ID, extract the IDs and names from it. Then I'm mapping the ID to names. So basically create an object mapping each ID to its corresponding name using the reduce function, and then map each ID to its corresponding name. Then obviously return the updated map. Starts with an empty array, and then I get the name corresponding to the user ID. Essentially, I do this twice. So basically, I want to find out if it's the sender or if it's the other username, because obviously I use that when I assign the chats as in who it's to and from when I'm saving to the database. Then we have the function get messages. So like this is basically to retrieve the messages for the active chat. Check if it's well, first of all check if it's an active chat, then retrieve messages and usernames for the active chat. Assign and retrieve all the messages to the message variable, which is just this one here. Create a map of user IDs to usernames. Map each user ID to its corresponding actual username. Then turn the map, and then it's doing an empty array as well. So we're starting out with an empty array. Then we have the on mount. So basically, it's just fetching the data from the Firestore. So it's get chat based on the active chat ID. To the two users, the dealer user and the user that's doing the chat. And because it's an array, I'm basically getting user ID 0 and user ID 1. So this is what I'm using to actually save the database on who's sending the message and who's it for. Chat ID set, yes, I'm just setting it here where I'm actually sending the dealer ID and the auth user ID. To begin with, get the authenticated user ID and dealer ID for the chat ID store. So I'm doing the matchup. If the user's ID is the same as the authenticated user, then I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the sender and the receiver. Because obviously I want the green and the grey to be the same for each user that's sending and receiving. That's where it kind of gets a bit complicated to work out. Then send a new message in the active chat. Then fetch message after it's sent, and then obviously new messages is reset, so I clear it. Then we have the chat with username. Each message. Yeah, so basically, depending on who sent it, I have my message and your message, and that's where I do the green and the grey color for the bubbles on the chat. Send message name text, placeholder, which is fine, and I use the enter to actually send the message, and that's just CSS styling. And I've ran out of time on this demo.